everyone, it's Mads, and today I'm going to be doing my Booktubeathon TBR! Yay! If you don't know what the Booktubeathon is, I will be linking all of the videos and information in the description box below, but a quick summary is that the Booktubeathon is an event started and hosted by Ariel Bissett with a bunch of other video hosts or whatever to encourage people in the booktube and bookstagram and just online book communities to read and also to garner excitement for booktube. So because I really want to be getting more involved in booktube, I want to start doing the Booktubeathon. I think the Booktubeathon sounds like a really fun idea. I think it sounds like a really good way to engage with people. I just think it sounds so much fun. So today I am filming my Booktubeathon TBR for the 7 Booktubeathon challenges. I don't really know how successful I'm going to be at completing this TBR. Some of the challenges can be a little up there in terms of difficulty, especially in the amount of books that you have and the amount of challenges that you have, but instead of attempting to knock out multiple challenges with one book, because some of them are pretty easy, I'm going to try to do one book for every challenge, so we'll see how that goes. So for challenge number 1, we have a really easy one, and that is read a book with a person on the cover. And so for this one, I am choosing My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This is a retelling, sort of, I guess, of King Edward, his cousin Jane, and a horse named Gideon? Gifford. His nickname is G. And it's like a horse werewolf situation. I don't know, it's really complicated. I've heard that this book is just really fun and really lighthearted, and it sounds like something that'll be really fun to read for summer. I'm a really big fan of European history. That's actually one of my majors in college, and so reading a sort of comedy-esque take on Lady Jane Grey and King Edward sounds like something that'll be really enjoyable. And really fun to start my challenges off with. And as you can see, there's definitely a face on the cover. I normally really hate having photographs of people on the covers of my books. It's one of my least favorite cover trends, but I actually think that the picture and everything and the way that this is done is so cute and really dynamic and fun, and so yeah, this is my person on the cover. Challenge number 2 is read an incredibly hyped book, and I wanted to choose a book that I feel like was really hyped and prompted me to get it, but I just haven't gotten around to picking up yet, not one that has been killed because of the hype for me. So I am going with Truth Witch by, oh, I didn't even make it to 2, aww. Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I'm gonna say Susan Dennard. This is a really interesting take on witches. I always love when witches have really weird powers. That was one of my favorite things about the Beautiful Creatures series, even though towards the end of it that got to be kind of a mess. This book has really weird types of witches. Safi, our main character, is a truth witch, which means that she can see through people's lies, but her powers aren't infallible and kind of creates this really interesting gray area and what she can and can't do. And her best friend is a thread witch, which means that she can see the ties that connect people. And it'll be really, really interesting to see how that plays out. I bought this book because of hype on Booktube. This is one that I haven't been taking a break from to get away from the hype. This is just one that I have been really excited about reading, so I feel like this challenge is a good way to prompt me to finish this. Challenge number 3 is read a book in one day, and I am going to try to read one that is incredibly skinny and incredibly small and also a little bit nostalgic, and go with I'll Tell You I Love You But Then I Have to Kill You by Ali Carter. I'm choosing this one because A, there's absolutely no way I can't read this in one day, but also because this is a book that I read years ago in middle school, and even though a lot of what I read back then I don't think I would enjoy now, I don't think that way about this. I think that these books were done in such an interesting way, with such an interesting take on that premise. I think that going back and reading this will be a really fun ride and a really just enjoyable, nostalgic experience, and I can kill this book in one day. There's no way. Challenge number 4 is read a book about a character who is different from yourself, and there were many options that I could have chosen for this on my bookshelf, but I wanted to go with one that I think I could read a little bit quicker because there are so many books on this TBR and so many challenges to get through, and also one that I feel like I need to be motivated to read, and so I'm going to go with Burned by Ellen Hopkins. Burned is about a main character who is Mormon, but she comes from an extremely religious and extremely abusive family. It's not stereotypical Mormon people. It's obviously, she was raised in the Mormon church, but I was raised in the Southern Baptist church, and though I do not attend that church anymore, I left and I go to a different place now. I feel like the Mormon sect of Christianity is really misunderstood even amongst the Christian church, and so I haven't really read any books from a Mormon protagonist or anything like that, and so I don't know how the representation on this book is. I haven't been able to find hardly anything on it, so I hope that it's good. I know that it isn't about being Mormon, it's more about religious corruption, and so it's not necessarily representative of the Mormon church, but I do think that that perspective will be a really interesting one to read from. I also do think that I will still be able to relate to this character a lot because she is questioning her place in the church and in the world and what that means for her, and so I think this will be a really interesting and also quick read to get through because Ellen Hopkins always writes in free verse poetry, and so you know, you speed through her books even though they are really heavy and emotionally hitting. Question number 5 is finish a book completely outdoors. Now I gotta give a little backstory on this one. I live in the Gulf Coast of Texas. I live in Houston, and if any of you in the world have ever visited Houston, have ever experienced the unique sort of heat that exists in Houston, you know that reading a book entirely outdoors sounds like an entirely emotionally soul-crushing experience. Because it isn't just heat in Houston, it is humidity that just surrounds you, and it's like you breathe in water every time you walk outside. It feels, walking outside in the heat of the day feels like swimming through air where I live. So there are really limited periods of time when I can actually complete a book outside and not want to die, and that is between like, I don't know, like sunrise and 10:30 in the morning and after 5 p.m. until dark in the evening. And in the evening, you get mosquitoes and they just eat everything that moves, and so you really have to get up in the morning, but I'm not really a morning person. So I had to pick a book that was A, really skinny, B, looked like it would be something that I would still get through really fast because even if it's small, that doesn't mean it might drag horribly. So I have to get something that I really felt I would be able to get through quickly, and so I decided to go with A Fierce Little Poison by Samantha Mabry. The third reason that I decided to go with this book is because I think this book, from what I've read, this book is set in Puerto Rico, and I feel like the climate and environment in this novel, it's set in Puerto Rico in the summer, will be similar to what I will be feeling while I read this book outside. But what I have read sounds really beautiful and mystical. I believe that this is magical realism. I also think that this is an Own Voices project. I might be wrong on that, but I feel like this will be a book that I will be able to just connect with in every sense of the reading experience. And so this is my completely outdoorsy book, and I hope that I do not die while I read this. It is only 278 pages long, so crossing my fingers, but oh my god, this is probably the challenge that seems the most difficult to me because it is just so hot! Number 6 is Read a Cover By, and this book, despite the fact that it looks fantastic, is 100% a cover by, and that is Iron Cast by Destiny Soria. I want to say, this book looks phenomenal, and the premise of this book looks phenomenal, and I agree with that completely, but I 100% bought this book because this is seriously one of the most gorgeous covers I've ever seen. It isn't even just the dust jacket. Although that is gorgeous, this caught my eye every single time I walked into the bookstore. It is so beautiful, the colors, the way that the girl is drawn. I mean, she's beautiful, the book is beautiful, the skull like contradicts with all of the glitz and glam on the cover, and on the back we have her best friend. I've read enough of this to know who the characters are. This is her best friend, and she's got the flapper aesthetic and everything. It's very Gatsby with a very dark twist, but when you take the cover off, also the inside pages are this weird like mustard yellow. That's gorgeous. But the actual book, the spine has this gold inlay, and it says, "We are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams," by Arthur O'Shaughnessy from Ode. And it's just stamped into the cover with this beautiful simplistic gold design, and I literally just think that this is one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. It just looks so gorgeous. This is my number 1 cover by 100% got this because the cover was just so pleasing to look at. And the last challenge to finish by the 7th day of the Booktubeathon is read 7 books. And that sounds really daunting, which is why I tried to go with books that will read faster, which are thinner and stuff like that. So my 7th book that I decided to go with to complete my 7-book challenge is Gemina by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Because of the formatting of this book, it's all told, if you don't know, and like this type of like weird stuff, and it reads so much faster. So even though it's like 700 pages or something like that, I don't know how many pages. I mean, it's almost 700 pages. It's 660 pages long, but the formatting will make it go much quicker, and the action and just the pacing of this novel always, I know from reading Illuminae, will feel so much faster than 660 pages. So hopefully I will get to Gemina, because that would be so cool if I could complete 7 books in 1 week. I don't know if it'll work. I really don't know if it'll work, but I hope. So that is my Booktubeathon TBR. If you guys are joining in the Booktubeathon, leave your channels and everything in the description box below, and I would love to go check everybody out, because the reason that I'm doing this is to connect with more people on Booktube, and I think that sounds like so much fun. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!